Wait for it. Wait for it, Alan. We like to bring you filmmakers whose movies are out in release for you to see. And I'm very excited to bring on the filmmakers behind Feed Me. Let me find do we have a graphic? We do not.
Yeah, here, I'll pull up the review.
Here we go. Pull up the review for Feed Me, which is, I'm going to assume it's out on video on demand. That's how we get these filmmakers to talk to us. Feed Me is out and available. Got a very good review on Film Threat from Bobby Lapierre. Let's bring on the filmmakers. Adam Leader and Richard Oakes are joining us on the show. You guys are on an iPhone or something, or an iPad. How's it going? Okay. Hey, guys. Oh, we can't hear you. You're muted. You're muted.
Let's see. On our end, yeah, it might be your phone or whatever you're using.
Yeah. All right, here we go. This is like remember when the pandemic happened? And every Zoom call, the first 20 minutes of every, Zoom conversation or meeting was like, put on headphones, do the thing. It's like basically doing like technical support. Yeah. Because there'd always be one or two people in a group that didn't know what they were doing. And then there was like, well, how do I change my background? You've got that really cool beach background. How do I get that? Let's bring on Adam and Rich again. How you guys doing?
What's going on, man? We're well. We're well.
Oh, good. Great to have you on the show. The filmmakers behind Feed Me. Welcome to the Film Threat Livecast. How's it going?
Good, man. We're coming to you right now from some sort of leisure center in Belgium. So we've forgive us if the connection sucks or whatever. If there's noise,
we've got the phone balanced on a bin in the middle of a corridor from judo class.
We can hear the craziness in the background. Tell us about this movie, Feed Me. What's the story? Our audience is anxious to hear.
Okay, basically to sum up, Feed Me is a story about a man after the loss of his wife due to a debilitating eating disorder. He somehow crosses paths with a cannibal who convinces him to end his life in the most horrific way imaginable. And that's Feed Me.
Oh, wow. And also, how did you two meet and collaborate on this film?
So I've been a cinematographer mainly for music videos for the past 10 years. And we met Adam because he's got an amazing band called In Search of Sun. And they hired me to do their first music video. And it was through this that me and Adam became friends and discovered this mutual love of filmmaking. And then we made a lot of crap. And we started a YouTube filmmaking program that was a load of crap, and then we did that for a year, and then we made our first film, which was a load of crap, and then we released Feed Me,
which may or may not be a load of crap.
Well, let's oh, there we go. It was very well reviewed.
It was a 9 out of 10 from Bobby.
9 out of 10.
Thank you again, by the way. That's very kind of you guys.
That's great. Well, tell us how, this is a question we get almost every time that we do one of these Q&As with filmmakers. Like, how did you get the funding to be able to make this film? A lot of times it's like crowdfunding or just someone just personally goes to make a movie. What was your process in securing the funding to make it?
Well, with our first movie, it was like, as Rich mentioned, we started off with a YouTube channel and that was all we had. So the way we did our first movie was, I guess, through crowd investment. So reaching out to our subscribers to do that. And we managed to make a very, very low budget movie and it worked for that. But we didn't want to go that route with this one. It was a slightly bigger budget, albeit still very, very small, extremely small in the grand scheme of things. And we still had to beg, borrow and steal. But it was essentially done by a private investment through people that we know, people close to us, but I guess proper investments this time, as opposed to crowd investments. So I guess we've gone one step up in the in the ladder and done it properly, I guess, is what I'm trying to get across. We've done it properly this time.
So how exactly do you sell a cannibal story to investors?
Well, lots of concoctions and it's I think it was more the success of the first one that we were so grateful and lucky to have, that I guess proved to those people that we as a duo are a worthwhile investment. What do you think, Rich? Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I mean, we fudged the numbers and then showed them, and that's how we convinced them to.
He's not telling the truth.
Invest in our next film. No, I think Host was a financial success, and it benefited the investors that we had on the first film. So we took that data and said, look, we can do this again, and we did.
We've got questions and comments from our audience. You mind taking some questions?
Sure. Sure.
Here we go. So Feed Me is a true story, says Patrick Lemire.
It's inspired by the real case of Armin Muse, so the guy out in Europe who convinced someone to sign a contract and be willingly eaten. But Feed Me, in essence, it's inspired by that, the concept, but the story itself is entirely fictional. Yes, but what were you saying about the most bizarre thing about?
Yeah, the most bizarre thing about this whole film is the part that's real, even though it's completely bonkers throughout. But the weirdest bit is the bit that's true.
Yeah, Solomon Thornton says, what was your inspiration? I remember hearing that story. That was horrific. Akanika says, love the sense of humor from these guys. And,
yes.
And then Greasy Vop asks, from a cannibal perspective, do you prefer legs, thigh, breast, or wings?
Always breast.
Always breast.
There you go.
But it has to be the left.
CD Stein 69 says, if you guys had a chance to do a film from a well-known IP, what would it be?
We had this chat and then it got done. Someone else did it.
Yeah, every time I mention an IP I'd love to do, it gets made the next day. Initially, I'd love to do a really dark, twisted version of the BFG, and then that got made into a really crap movie. I'd love to revisit The Fly as well. I'd love to revisit The Fly. I think that would be great.
That would be cool. But we were chatting about The Witches as well. We honestly, before we knew that there was a new Witches coming out, we were both talking about doing a remake of that, how much we'd love to do it. And then they went and made it. We were like, damn it.
Crap.
And it was okay, man. It was cool. It was cool.
What are your comedy horror influences? This just seems like a very over the top kind of gory horror comedy. What was it that just kind of made you embrace that genre?
I think our comedy is not really taken from comedy horror. I think we get our comedy from probably non-horrors and just our own sense of what we find funny, which is just us two being idiots. My favorite comedy of all time is Hot Rod, because I just love stupidity. And that's the most stupid film I've ever seen, and I love it. But it's nowhere near a horror, so we kind of try and combine that kind of bizarre stupidity with extreme gore and horror.
It's where we did it with this film. It was like we've both had this, like Rich said, this ridiculous sense of humor that we felt only we found funny, which is why, particularly with our first film, we were afraid to implement that into the story of it. And when Feed Me came about, we just said to each other, we mutually agreed, like, screw this, let's just do exactly what we want to do and put our comedy into it and put the drama that we want to put into it and whatever, and just be ourselves, man. And we have, and luckily that sense of humor seems to be well received, which does actually surprise us. People seem to be understanding the comedy and finding it funny, which is really cool. So yeah, it's our first movie, and hopefully the first of many where we are purely just wearing our heart on our sleeves as filmmakers and doing us, basically.
Solomon Thornton says, hear me out. For a sequel, the title should be Feeding Nemo.
We were thinking feed #MeToo.
Oh, no. Lord of the Film says, what is your favorite horror movie franchise?
For me, that's an easy one. I'm gonna have to stand to show you the answer, but can you see that?
Oh, Freddy, that's awesome tattoo. That's incredible. Wow.
That would be my favorite franchise. Like Freddy was,
You just get a thing from Robert England.
and a tweet from Robert Englund just came through. Ironically, how weird was that? Not to me, I wish, but no, just on Twitter. That was the first movie I ever saw was the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I was about 8 years old and just fell in love straight away, and then my obsession with horror begun.
I don't know what my favourite franchise would be. I don't know. I used to like classic creature features, but most of them always go really bad. So
you got into the Halloweens though. Actually,
no, I like
didn't you?
the Halloween series. I like the Tremors series, but it went bad real quick.
Johnny Fuerte says these are fantastic guests, great energy. They should be regulars.
Oh, Johnny, we love you, man.
Dempsey says, are you still with that band that you brought up earlier? If so, can we hear some of your band's music?
Oh yes.
Oh, that really. Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're called In Search of Sun, not baby sun, as in sun in the sky. In Search of Sun. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. I've got a bunch of music videos, and we actually did the end credits song to Feed Me, and the music video for that is. Well, you'll be the first to know, actually, because the announcement isn't coming out till tomorrow. It comes out on the 31st of October, the official music video for the end credits song to Feed Me. So subscribe to In Search of Sun on YouTube. And thank you, by the way. That comment really touched me, man. Thank you.
Well, we'll put a link in the description for this video. Dempsey asks, how important is the music score for your film? I'm going to assume very important.
Yeah, massively important. You'd be surprised, like, when you're editing a film, how empty and terrible it seems, and how bad a job you think you're doing when you're editing, until that score gets dropped on, and it just ties everything together. It gives all the atmosphere that you thought it was lacking, and it's actually really hard to edit without the score there, because you don't know how long to hold on a shot that needs tension, because there's no tension there because the music's adding a lot of it. So it's integral, and it can be quite hard to kind of find the right balance before the score's put in.
And Greasy Vop has a good final question here. Where can we see this?
Well, in America, Feed Me, as of yesterday, is now out digitally. You can stream it on, I guess, Prime Video. Amazon Prime Video is where we want people to go. So, yeah, Feed Me, Prime Video, October 27th, it came out. Go watch it and spread the word, man, because, spread the word.
That's great. And then also subscribe to your channel. What's the channel again, the YouTube channel?
It's called Dark Fable Media. We're not that operational on it anymore. We used to do a lot more, but you can check out all our old silly filmmaking videos. But we've been so busy with making films rather than talking about making films recently that we haven't really kept up with it.
And the band one, I've got to shove it in there, is In Search of Sun. For anyone that's into heavy music. Although someone told me the other day I look like I'm in a trance band, but with the stuff I wear, but I'm not. I'm in a metal band.
Well, Adam and Richard, thank you so much for joining us on the Film Threat Livecast. Have a great rest of your day, and enjoy Belgium.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Take care.
All right, take care. Thanks again. Later. What the hell?